What were the biggest hurdles for you guys?
I would say probably the biggest hurdle, and partially because I approach this, from the standpoint of being a writer before I, approach it from the standpoint of being a producer. The hardest thing, I think, was getting the story right, getting the characters right. Production, knock on wood, was pretty smooth. I mean, Amazon and Legendary have given us all the financial resources we needed to realize this world. We have an incredible crew, incredible artists and designers, working to help us, bring it to life. So the hardest part, really was the writing.
How much of the mystical creature lore that you're going to bring in? We've seen centaurs, fairies. What are we not seeing yet?
Well, there's in season 1. There's basically four creatures. There's Trolls, which are like these big sort of troll-like creatures. There's centaurs, which are half person, half horse. There's fauns, which are these puck-like horned characters with hooves, and then finally the fairies, the pixies. And we'll hear about other other lands. We'll hear about different kinds of creatures, and hopefully in success we get a chance to meet a few of them.
One of the themes that I actually noticed, because I did the activation, is that there's going to be like this racial between human and creatures themes. And is that going to be a prominent theme throughout the entire series?
I would say actually all the different ways you can subdivide a society come up in the show. So we definitely, it is definitely a show where racism is a key component, but it also deals with sexism and classism and spiritualism and feminism. I like to say it's a show about every ism there is.
And just for clarification, are there creatures against creatures, or are they all united against humans?
That's an interesting question. I would say that for the most part, the creatures are antagonistic against humans, but for sure not all the creatures get along. And there is interspecies or intraspecies conflict.
Excellent.
As a kid, we're at Comic-Con. As a kid, Luke Skywalker, I aspired to be Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Who did you aspire to be as a kid?
That's a great question. It probably was Luke, because I was 6 when Star Wars came out, and it totally rocked my world. And I probably wanted to be Luke. But it's funny, I don't know, even at a young age, always into comic books, always into science fiction and fantasy, I don't know if I ever quite consumed it the way a lot of kids my age back then did, where I wanted to be a particular character. It was more like I want to live in the world, And being that character sort of offers that opportunity, but it was all about the world for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.